Hello, my name is Story Zanetti. I'm a senior at Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas, studying computer science and applied numerical mathematics. I am looking for an internship for the summer of 2016 at SpaceX. I am extremely interested in SpaceX, and I have valuable skills that could help SpaceX achieve its goal of exploring the stars and beyond. For instance, my first year at SMU, I took part in a class where me and a team of multidisciplinary first-year engineers worked together to build a robot that could autonomously navigate a simple obstacle course and then find a well of water and test that water for pH, temperature, and turbidity. The main parts of the code that I worked on were orienting the robot when it turned on inside the obstacle course and testing and remediating the water in the well. In order to orient the robot in the obstacle course, we used a compass sensor. Unfortunately, our compass sensor was very sensitive to magnetic fields, and because we had so many technologies in the area that we were testing our robot, we would often, if not always, get different readings every time we would try to orient the robot to north. To remediate this problem, we would have our robot turn in the approximate direction of west and then drive to the westmost wall in that direction. We then used a bar on the front of our robot with a pressure sensor to straighten the robot until it was straight with that westward wall. Another issue we encountered was when we were lowering the arm of the robot to put the sensors inside the water. If you went too quickly, you would hit the sensors on the bottom of the well and they would break. So I wrote code that would incrementally lower the robot's arm until it was inside the water. That way, at varying levels of water and at varying heights that the robot arm was going into it, it would still stop before it hit the sensors on the bottom of the water. Additionally, I've worked with many sensors on the iPhone for developing iOS applications. While it might not be immediately obvious how I could apply this skill to SpaceX, I actually learned a lot of very interesting tricks while working on these iOS apps. For instance, I helped develop one app that would output a tone at a certain frequency from the iPhone speakers, and then as you moved your hand toward and away from the iPhone, the sound waves would reflect off of your hand back at the speakers, and you could see if your hand was moving towards it or away. Because if you're moving towards it, then the sound waves are going to come back much faster at a higher frequency, and if you're moving away from it, the sound waves will bounce back at a lower frequency. Additionally, I helped work on an application that used your phone as a wizarding wand, so that as you moved your arm, it would sense what directions you were moving your arm and then interpret those as different shapes for different spells to cast. This also used machine learning to be able to store multiple users having cast the spells so that it could compile them together and have a more accurate idea of when users were casting spells in certain directions. I could apply these kinds of ideas to other technologies. For instance, a rover could use those sound waves as its own system of echolocation. Or you could develop a machine learning algorithm that would identify different rock structures and try and learn which types of rock structures were similar. I have also taken scientific computing classes and parallel scientific computing classes, so I have experience applying mathematical equations to computer code and even putting that computer code in a parallel environment. I am also currently taking a geology solar systems class, which is teaching me so much that I never knew about the geography and the chemical composition of the universe and other planets. Really though, the most impressive thing that I can bring to SpaceX is my passion. I'm part of a group that hosts monthly science days for 4th and 5th grade girls to keep them interested in science and engineering as they get older. And any one of those girls could tell you how over the moon I am every time we have a space day. One of the best moments in my life has been being able to share the wonders of the universe and tell these young girls how important it is that we pursue it and that we use science and technology to expand our entire world's horizons. And I really hope that I will get a chance to expand my horizons at SpaceX this summer. And now for a closing song. The sun is a massive, big and distant gas. Thank you very much and have a fantastic day.